Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the live stream. Hope everybody's having a great Sunday morning. I didn't have internet about 10 minutes ago. I was worried we weren't going to be able to get this in. There's an Xfinity outage in the area. But alas, here we are. So if anything does happen with the internet, I've decided a contingency that I will do a live stream later this evening. I'll do one around 5 or 6 o'clock. We'll do like a red zone. And cruising red zone. I'll just go through all the football scores with everyone for the afternoon games. Stephanie Peck, good morning. Hope you're having a great day. Kathy and Tim, good morning, guys. Hope you guys are doing really well. Felicia, good morning. Hope you're doing well today. Hi, Patricia. Good morning to you. John Roll Tide, how are you, John? Good to see you here. Cruising Nurse, hello, welcome. Hope you're having a great day. Alex, single digits until cruise day. Time to start packing after the live stream. Of course, you could multitask, Alex. It's totally fine. Thank you for coming. I hope you are excited. My cruise day countdown is at 15, 14 if you count travel day. So I'll be flying out to go on the NCL Joy. I forgot it was right behind me. And then side-by-siding with the Wonder of the Seas, which should be pretty fun. Michelle B., good morning, and thank you very much. Yes, feeling much better. I don't know what I had. I had like a little bit of a flu-y cold kind of thing. I just was feeling awful. And I was like, this isn't good. I should rest. Usually, this is the wisdom of age. Usually, I would just say, I'm just going to keep going and do the live stream. And I'm learning as I get older not to be as much of a psychopath. I work every day as it is. So if I'm not feeling good, I have to listen a little bit sometimes and do that. Jonathan Beebe, good morning. John, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Lisa, good morning. Lisa, thank you so much for booking your cruise with me. All booked and ready to go. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Tony C, good morning to you. Fred and Lisa, good morning. Hope you guys are doing well. Greg Gooser, good morning. Hope you are having a wonderful day. Howdy, Hope. How are you out there in good old pretzel country in Pennsylvania? And Thomas, good morning. Hope you're having a great day. We got a little bit of cruise news today and some speculation, not a ton of cruise news, but we're going to go through it. I know Tony Diaz is traveling at the moment, so I don't think he's going to be here today. Emilio, good morning. Walk to our cruise on the Aqua. Thanks for the advice. Of course, I'm glad. I hope you enjoyed the walk. It's not terribly far if you're walking from Penn Station. It's about a mile, and most of it is downhill. And you can walk, I generally walk down 34th. And then when I get to the Hudson, I turn right. And it's really beautiful there. You walk along the river and you see tons of people walking, running, playing pickleball. It's just a really nice walk. Amelia, were you affected by the weather? Did you wind up going to Bermuda or did you wind up going to Canada? Good question there. Ryan, good morning. Beautiful day in Rhode Island. I saw your pics on Facebook. Great pics. Hope you're having a great Sunday morning. Let's get into a little bit of cruise news as I'm getting ready for my NCL Joy and Wonder cruise. We got a couple fun cruise news stories. So Star Princess underway, officially entered service, departed on Saturday, October 4th, yesterday, for her maiden voyage, which is an 11-night Western Mediterranean sailing from Barcelona. This is the second of the Sphere-class ships, obviously over there with Sun Princess. It is now going to be heading over to Fort Lauderdale. It's doing a little bit of sailings in Barcelona and then spending the winter in Fort Lauderdale. There are 30 bars and restaurants and a whole bunch of other things. Other news associated with this, we have the actors. Are they both actors? I don't think so. It's Matthew McConaughey and his wife, Camilla, have been announced as the godparents of the Star Princess. It's a little bit of an interesting one for me since Matthew McConaughey is from Texas. He's from obviously famously from Austin, Texas. You think that he would be on godparent of a ship in Galveston would make more sense, right? But no such luck. He and his wife are the godparents here. They're also the co-founders of Pantalones Tequila, which is officially going to help christen the ship, obviously yesterday. The tequila brand is featured on board as part of their premium liquor. So I guess that was kind of an arrangement there. Makes a ton of sense. I hope Matthew had a nice trip over there. I'm sure he wasn't thrilled that his Texas Longhorns were not successful yesterday. Arch Manning struggling. Struggle City there with Arch. Amelia said, no, we were on the 9:13 to 9:20. Very nice. I'm glad. Thank God. Thank God. Patricia said, godparents of a ship. Yeah, every ship has a godparents, Patricia. Every single one of them. Generally speaking, used to be a godmother with no opportunities for us gentlemen, which is not fair and equitable. So now we have godparents. A lot of the MSC ships are all Sophia Loren. Diana Ross was supposed to be one. She backed out. Who else? Gloria Stefan is a godmother. Kelly Clarkson, Katy Perry. Tons of them. Hope said, I'll let you know how McConaughey's liquor is in 30 days. Yeah, give it a try. Have a good old tequila sunrise. I like a tequila sunrise if I go to like the 7:30 show. So I know I'm going to struggle to, it's past my bedtime. I'm going to struggle to stay up a little bit. So I hit it with a little tequila sunrise at that 7:30 show if I'm feeling like I'm knocking off a little bit. I don't want to go full caffeine and soda, but tequila, one of the few stimulant liquors. It's not a depressant, it's a stimulant. So one of the few that I will have at a show. Next bit of cruise news, the Disney Fantasy has entered a dry dock after its season in Europe. It is in France. It is going to get a decent amount of things cleaned up on it. Nothing like crazy. This is just kind of routine dry dock. Most cruise lines have like a 5 to 6 year window in which they try to bring back ships for a dry dock. So it is just coming in, undergoing technical maintenance, routine work, and some inspections before resuming service. They're also doing that on Disney Dream as well. Disney Dream actually had some issues earlier this year, which they had to cancel some cruises. So we'll see what happens there. I really would like to, anybody here, I know some of you have been on Disney ships. Let me know what you think of Disney ships. I would love to go on a Disney cruise. They're just so expensive. I can't get on, even like a 3-dayer is like $2,000 for just me. It's just crazy. Jonathan said, looking at Star Princess versus Royal Princess in Alaska, only guaranteed balconies. Yeah, I would be very, very cautious about that, Jonathan. AJ just got off of Royal Princess. So I'll do the tour in the next couple of weeks. So I'll be able to show you what the ship looked like. AJ had a great time. She thought the ship was beautiful. Obviously, Star is brand new. So, you know, it's going to be fantastic. I did see a funny post this week. I don't know, you know, sometimes on Facebook, the things just pop up, you know, related to cruising in my feed. So I did see these people complaining, getting completely roasted, by the way. They were on Aqua. Yeah, they were on Aqua. And they were in this like really nice Haven cabin. And apparently in this one Haven cabin, people, non-Haven people, normies, can see into your bedroom, which in and of itself is a flawed design. But as you know from everything, going on the internet and complaining about anything, you're going to get roasted. So they definitely got roasted by people, you know, complaining about being in a $10,000 suite and complaining about things like they couldn't immediately look down and see the ocean. There were things in their way. They had to look out to see the ocean. All things they would have known if they actually looked it up. And then somebody said, hey, you didn't do their research. And they said, oh, we bid on it. So then they got roasted for not actually paying for it and bid on an upgrade. And again, cautionary tale there, which I try to tell everybody, is when you do these upgrades, these bid upgrades on your cruises, be very, very careful. Sometimes, keep in mind, right? So here's the thing. When you, like Jonathan just said, and the reason it reminded me was because of the guaranteed balcony. Remember, if you bid on an upgrade and the ship is fairly sold out or pretty sold out, whatever it is, right? Most of the time, you're not going to get the upgrade. It's not going to be a big deal. But remember, if you're bidding to go to a room, sometimes there is a reason why that room didn't sell. And I talk about this all the time. I did it during the pandemic, coming out of the pandemic. I bid on an aqua theater suite. I got it, and I noticed you couldn't see the aqua theater. It was one of the ones they had done during construction when they added the slide, and you couldn't see the aqua theater. So I quickly called up and moved it. I moved it myself because shenanigans. And I moved into a Crown Loft suite, so it was easier to do that. Most of the time, you're not going to be able to do that if you bid on something. You're stuck with whatever you get, and that's what they said. They didn't know until the day before the cruise. They got put into this, and they hated it, and they had a horrible time. So my advice to everyone is, whether you're using a travel agent or not, it doesn't really matter. Call the cruise line or call your travel agent and try to get an upgrade first. Because if there are a ton of rooms available, sometimes it's not going to be expensive, or not any more than it would be whatever your bid is, to move up at least a category or somewhere that you would like to go. And that way you could pick the room that you're going to. But winging it, you're always at a disadvantage, because they're just going to throw you somewhere where either someone canceled or that room didn't book. And if it didn't book, probably didn't book for a reason. So just be aware of that. Hope said you have to do it once. You have to try the magic or the dream first. I would love to. I really do. I want to do it. I have to figure out a way to finagle my way on a Disney cruise. All right, next bit of cruise news. The Brilliant Lady, Virgin Voyages Brilliant Lady, has entered Quebec City for the first time. It's the first visit ever. Brilliant Lady is the fourth ship, obviously, in the fleet. I know there's a lot of stir this week. I did a video about the Virgin pricing tier structure. All in all, I'm in favor of a tiered pricing structure. I think it helps give people options, like a good, better, best option for value and getting some perks so that you don't have to buy everything a la carte. My wish for all the cruise lines is that there was a value option, a mid-tier option that gave you some benefits, and then a kind of high-end one that makes your cruise all-inclusive. So at a minimum, it should include drinks, Wi-Fi, gratuities. Specialty dining still, to me, is like, okay, it's really nice that they do that, but that it'd be cool if the premium package had like unlimited special diner, whatever it is, like Premier. But I don't need that. It's great if it has it, but gratuities at a minimum. And I hate the fact that Virgin has now taken gratuities completely out of their pricing structure. So they've, the thing that they were fighting so hard to be different from all the other cruise lines, and now they're right back in the, we're just going to be like everybody else because enough people complained or didn't book because they thought it was more expensive, whatever the rationale is. Sometimes you just have to fight through it and stay with it, and you'll win the battle, and they didn't. And I don't like the fact that if you don't prepay your gratuities, they're more. Like it's tips, it's gratuity. How dare you change the price if I don't pay it ahead of time? So I have to tip more if I'm doing it in person? That's crazy. I don't like that at all. So again, it's the age-old argument. You could just pay them what they're worth, and I'm happy to pay whatever that fee is and not have gratuities as a separate line item. And then we can all give tips based on service, which is great. And you can't complain, well, the people behind the scenes then aren't going to get tips. Well, if you paid them what they should be paid, it's like if you go to, whatever random, no one comes into like an office where people are like engineers or whatever and throws them a tip because they built a bridge. They should. Those things are crazy. But they don't. So what are you going to do? All right. Next up, Royal Caribbean has unveiled these fancy, beautiful ferry boats. Let me see if I could share this. You guys can see what they look like here. Share my screen. Look at these fun little boats. So they have all these multicolored boats that they're going to be using to ferry you from Nassau, right next to the ship here. As you can see, the big ships dock on that far dock that you could see Paradise Island from. So they are going to dock right here. You're just going to walk off the ship, get on one of these really cool, fun, colorful ferries, and they're just going to take you right over to it. See how cool that is? Really fun. Those are really, really fun. Anyway, just wanted to share that so everybody got to see it. Alex said, agree, Virgin apparently also allows you to remove the tips on the ship, which gets back to the old. So they have now, everything that I've heard, and I went to like a full seminar on this, and it was completely out of pocket. People were arguing and fighting about it. What I've heard is they are not going to allow you to remove the tips, Virgin, in this new structure. That may change. They might have already gotten enough pushback on it that they've made modifications to it. But everything that I've heard is that they are not going to allow you on the ship to remove, which I hate. I also hate, right? Like, just let us tip, pay them what they should be paid, add those into the cruise, make the cruise fare include that, stop being greedy, and let's tip based on service. Next up, Norwegian has canceled 50 plus cruises because they're switching things around again. I don't know why they do. This is really strange. Look, I'm sure there's a very, very good reason for why they do this, because they don't want to do it either. Believe me. If you think they want to give back all that money and have people rebook and give them additional things, they definitely don't want to do it. So I don't know what happens here and why these things happen, but it's very strange. So they're swapping out 2 cruise ships and they're stopping short Bahamas sailings on 2 other ships for diverse cruise itineraries. Love that. Have to say, I love that. I love that kind of Norwegian is zagging away from short cruises and leaning into long. Again, if Norwegian could just kind of zag enough that they differentiate themselves from Carnival, MSC, and Royal, I think it would be a huge benefit for them. They would be slightly more upscale than them, and it would give them a little bit of something interesting that the other ships don't and the other cruise lines don't have. So I don't, God only knows why they did this, but it's 55 cruises. It affects Gem, Dawn, Getaway, and Joy. I will say on my Joy cruise, there are people booking this week. I'm going on Joy in like 2 weeks. There are people booking this week for like $200, $300. So it is not selling well. These short cruises, for some reason, on Norwegian are not selling well. Maybe because it's not as much of a party line. But I am on the Facebook group for this cruise, and it does seem like a little bit of a party vibe, which I don't love. It's fine. I'm sure it'll be fine because nothing stays open late on Norwegian anyway. But it is interesting that they are moving away from that. It's kind of nice. Cruising Nurse said, I hate this and itinerary changes because it angers a lot of clients and they cancel and hesitate. Yeah, no, I totally agree. Look, it sucks, especially from a travel agent perspective where you have to kind of rebook all these people, or then they call up and they complain. Itinerary changes because of the weather, I'm over people complaining about. Like, I saw the people this week complaining about Aqua or whatever ship it was Escape, having to go to Boston and Canada. It sucks. Maybe, right? If you don't want to go there, I get it. That's not where you wanted to go. There is a hurricane. Now, sometimes communication's not great, right? And that's a fault of the cruise line. In this particular situation, the weather is wild, right? You can't predict sometimes 48, 72 hours ahead. So they're waiting as late as humanly possible, or negotiating with other ports to try to find somewhere for you to go, right? All the while giving you back money or giving you future cruise credits, even if it's $50. $50 times 4,000 passengers equals a lot of money. However you shake it, it's a lot of money. It's not an insignificant amount of money. And I'm tired of people hearing like, oh, I was supposed to go, I wanted to go to Bermuda, or I wanted to go to the Bahamas. I was so ready to go to Nassau. I want to go to, cool. Let's give you a little ferry boat and you can go through the hurricane to Nassau. Congratulations. There's sometimes things can't be avoided. And even the one ship that got, I think it was a Royal ship, that got stuck and couldn't dock because of the weather. There's nothing we can do about that. Would you like to crash into the piers? Look, I'm upset too every time I go to Great Stirrup Cay and we can't dock because it's a tender port and it's windy. And they're like, we can't do it. Does it suck? Of course it does. But I'm not going to go on the news and be like, this is an outrage. It's the weather. It's a hurricane. Again, here's a sea-doo. Let's give all those people sea-doos and say, congratulations, go to Bermuda. Enjoy your stay in the hurricane. Yeah, weather's crazy. I know you weren't talking about the weather. Weather's crazy. The changing of the itineraries from like, oh, we're going to go here to here and there's no rhyme or reason for it, that's enraging. Especially what Royal was doing with San Juan, where they weren't telling people till the last minute they weren't going to go to San Juan, and they were either skipping it or changing it to something. Not good. That's not good business practice. Hopes that at least they change it to other ports. Yeah, exactly. You're going somewhere. It's still beautiful in at this time of year, but it's been really nice in Boston and Halifax and everything. No one can control the weather, Lisa. Nobody at all. It's crazy. Friendly said, I could care less, like I said before. Just keep me safe. I booked a cruise years ago, Bermuda, Bahamas. They canceled. A lot of people upset. Not me. I made the best of it. Yeah, I always make the best of it. And look, don't get me wrong. It's fine to be upset about it. There's nothing wrong with being upset and being bummed out that you're not going to Bermuda. Like if I would have not gone to Bermuda and, I actually don't care. It probably would have been fine. But I get it. Like I'm spoiled. Not that I'm not paying for it. But I'm lucky enough to go on a bunch of cruises a year where I'm going to get to Bermuda this year, right? Or next year, whatever. Some people, it's their only chance. So I get it. It sucks. But again, I'm not going to go to the news and be outraged about it. It's just crazy. Give them sea-doos. I'm here for it. Let's give everybody a sea-doo that wants to continue on their path. Myers fam said, yep, it was Gem, Joy, Dawn, and Getaway. Those are the 4 ships that are affected. Lee said, as long as we're safe, it's okay. I couldn't agree more. I would prefer calm seas and take me anywhere you want to take me. I've said it before, like going out of New York or going out of Miami, right? Those are 2 like pretty cool cities, right? There's a ton of things going on. Even Philly. For those of you who haven't been to Philly yet, Philly's got a lot of culture, a lot of great restaurants, a whole bunch of fun things to do here, right? You can go to sporting events. You can do a bunch of things. If you said to me, I'm going to put you on, now this isn't for everybody. I get it. I'm going to put you on Icon or Star or Aqua or one of these huge ships, right? Carnival, Jubilee, whatever it is. And we're just going to cruise out into the river during the day for a little bit. And then at night, we're going to come back to shore and you can go do stuff in the city. I'm here for it. Or I just stay on the ship and enjoy myself. There's a ton of things to do on the ship and we're not moving and everything's safe. Cool. It's fine with me. Let's do it. Especially in the summer. Not in the winter. It would stink, but yeah. Alex said, just keep me out at sea. I don't even want to get off the ship. Same, right? I'm fine. I'll just go to the aqua theater shows. I'll go to ice skating. I'll do all the fun things on the ship. It's totally fine. In other news, for the first time, Queen Elizabeth is coming to Miami. The Cunard Queen Elizabeth ship has never sailed out of Miami. In 185 years, Cunard has never done this. Now the Queen Elizabeth is going to home port out of Miami and sail until April of next year. So from October to April, it's going to be doing Caribbean cruises, which is really, really cool. So if you've not had a chance to experience Cunard and you didn't want to go on a transatlantic, now you have a great opportunity to give it a shot. Next up, again, I was just listening to Matt Hochberg's podcast for the week, but Royal Caribbean on the presidential cruise, again, keeps dipping into this new class of ships, the Discovery class. They keep talking about it. They just haven't announced the date yet or exact build. But here's what we know so far on the Discovery class. Smaller than Icon, and I'd imagine smaller than Oasis. What we do know, the facts that we do know, is that this ship is going to be able to go through the Panama Canal. So it's going to be able to traverse the Panama Canal, which means it can do Alaska. It can come back over here, summer and winter, could do Mediterranean, Hawaii, all of those things. So it does look like this is going to be a class of ships to replace the older Vision class ships. It's just not going to be as small as people think it's going to be. Again, I think it's still going to be in the 3,500 to 4,500 passenger range, maybe even more. So I'm guessing somewhere around the Quantum size, maybe with just a brand new, fresh layout or something going on there. But it is going to be able to go through the Panama Canal, which the Icon obviously cannot. And I don't think Oasis can either. So there you have it. They also talked about putting an Icon class ship in Galveston, which seems like a little bit of a no-brainer, considering that there is only 2 ports in Florida that can hold an Icon class ship. So you already have Icon and Star, and then we're going to have Legend. We still have more Oasis class ships coming. And also in that talk, Matt brought up that they talked about Baltimore. Royal Caribbean is going to sail out of Baltimore every summer. So it's not going to be a year-round port anymore, but they will have a ship there every summer for the foreseeable future, as long as the ship can fit under the bridge there. So there you go. Fred and Lisa said, I want to port somewhere. I pick less sea days. Yeah, no, I get it. I would love to just cruise on the river and come back at night. It's totally fine. And then last but not least, Norwegian has announced this loyalty status matching program, which I think is really cool. So if you go on Norwegian, Oceania, Regent, you get the same level and you continue to accrue points and they continue to add up on all the different levels, which is really nice. So you're not like with the old Royal one, it would be like if you were here, like on Royal, if you're Diamond Plus, and then you go over here and you're Elite on Celebrity, you wouldn't move up in that or Silver Sea until you hit that number of points on that line. Norwegian's foregoing that. So you're getting the points no matter what, and you'll continue to raise on all those levels. The other thing is that you have to request it, which I don't love. I really, really don't love that. So, it is what it is. Michelle, you are correct. Legend's going to be in Fort Lauderdale. My apologies. So yeah, those 3. And then we still have way more Icon ships coming. So it is a no-brainer. But I don't like the fact on the Norwegian one that you have to put in a request on every cruise to do the status matching. It seems dumb. Like, figure out the back end there. We shouldn't have to request it. It's just another step for people that they have to do. Also, beware of scams out there. There's a bunch of cruise scams. I know Don talked about it this week, of cruise lines calling people saying you have payments because people post their cruises on Facebook and everything else. Like me, right? I have mine here. I'm just not going to fall for this scam. But somebody could call me and be like, hey, this is Norwegian. You forgot to pay this port fees and taxes. And everybody's like, oh, God, I didn't realize that. So they get out their card right away to pay. Cruise lines will never, ever, 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 ever call you for payment. Never. Even if you book direct for the cruise line, if you don't make your payment, they don't care. They will just cancel your cruise. They will email you, but they will never call you. So if anybody does call you, just hang up, call your travel agent, or go to royalcaribbean.com. Don't just Google the number, because they can spoof that too. Go to royalcaribbean.com, go to ncl.com, Princess Cruises, MSC Cruises, all of those. Or ask your travel agent. Don't ever just go and pay those things. It's crazy. That is it for cruise news for today. I'm making some bread pudding. I can smell it right now. Going over my sisters for the Eagles game. Go Birds. So everyone have a wonderful football Sunday. I guess if you're a Minnesota fan or a Cleveland, God forbid, if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, I'm so sorry. It has been a terrible 100 years for you. Vikings are winning 14-10 overseas, third quarter, 10 minutes left in the third quarter. Otherwise, everybody enjoy the rest of your football games today. Hope you have a wonderful day. We will be live on Wednesday for our live stream. We will have Peter and Melinda on, our subscribers who went to do the Norwegian fjords on MSC Euribia. They're going to talk all about that cruise this week. We also have a few other guests coming up on our live stream. We have on the 29th, we have Let's Go Travel Tips. They're super nice. They're great if you're not subscribed to those. Alex said it's going to be a long season for the Bengals fans. Yeah, I mean, probably something you should tell your GM and owner is you need an offensive line. It's great to have two amazing wide receivers and a great quarterback. You need an offensive line. It's helpful. And a defensive line. Trenches. You win Super Bowls in the trenches. College football yesterday was great. Roll Tides, Alabama won yesterday, continuing their what I consider an improbable streak. They've done really well this year. Texas, of course, the Arch Manning experience is not going well. They lost. Penn State, come on. I've never been happier to not be a Penn State fan. First of all, Penn State people are just Penn State people, right? Good for you if you went to Penn State. I get it. It's fun. We are. I'm here. I see it. But come on, guys. Win a big game. Lost to UCLA? Come on. Sandy said, sorry we're late. We just boarded Brilliance of the Seas. Bit different from Star. Slightly. It's about a quarter of the size of Star. I hope you guys have an awesome time leaving out of Boston. Hopefully it's a beautiful day. It is beautiful here. It's 82 and sunny in Philly. We couldn't ask for crazier weather in the beginning of October. So everyone enjoy your football, your baseball playoffs, whatever you're watching. Have a great day, and I'll see everybody on Wednesday. Bye.